For testing, I usually recommend two ways to confirm that DOS protection is working. The first method is doing a port scan to the WAN IP of the PAN appliance. So let's go to a computer that's connected to our lab internet cloud on the untrusted network, basically. And there we have a program called Nmap installed. Let's go ahead and open up that program. Let's move this up here. Now for the target, we will enter the WAN IP of the firewall. Oops, that won't work. Okay, and next for the profile right up here, we're going to select Intense Scan All TCP Ports. So this will run a scan of more than 10 ports within 2 seconds, which will trigger our zone protection profile of a potential DOS attack. Let's go ahead and select that right here. All right, and once that's completed, let's start our scan. Okay, the scan has started and not much is really happening here. Let's go back to our firewall and let's check out our threat logs, which is located under the Monitor tab. And here are the logs. Let's go to Threat and let's wait for this to refresh. And there it is. So there we do see a TCP port scan has been detected from the internet computer, which is the attacker, and we're doing a port scan to the victim, which is the IP, the WAN IP of our firewall. So we can keep this running and we can see all the various ports that is being attempted of being scanned on the firewall. So all of this, well, what is the action here? Well, if we move this to the side, you will see that the action has been dropped. So it is dropping all of these connections based on our zone protection profile that we have set up. Okay, and by the way, you can add the events of this threat log that we see here to the dashboard to provide a single view of all your important events on the firewall. So to do that very quickly, you can go up here to dashboard and we want to go to widgets, which is right here. And here on the logs, we want to select threat logs. So now those events are listed up here for a single consolidated view of everything that is important for us to see in terms of general information, our threat logs, system logs, and other configuration logs as well. Another method for testing is to activate the send cookie operation for any TCP packet that comes in. This will tell us that the zone protection profile that we set up is working. So in order to do that, let's go back into our profile that we have set up. Okay, and here we want to quickly get an alert generated and to activate the send cookie operation. Therefore, we will set the alert value to 1 packet per second and set the activate value to 0. Okay, so the testing that we would do is we would do another TCP port scan. So that means that we need to disable TCP port scan on this profile. Otherwise, those packets will be alerted as a port scan and be dropped. Okay, so now we are done. So let's go ahead and save our changes and then commit our new changes. Next, let's go back to our threat logs that we cleared out before we begin our testing. Let's go back to our internet computer that we are connected to. Let's open up our Nmap program. And there, let's launch another TCP port scan to our firewall. And let's do scan. Okay, it is starting. Okay, and there you will see several TCP connections being opened. Now we were getting this before because those results were being blocked because we are blocking all TCP port scans, but that is disabled now. But these open connections means that several TCP connections are being established between our firewall and this computer only. So let's go back to our firewall and let's refresh our threat logs page. Okay, let's wait for the events to show up. Okay, and there, the event has been detected as a TCP flood, matching the send flooding option that we did select within the profile. So this is part of the flood protection that we did want to enable. And if we move this to the right, we know that we enable the send cookie operation. And you'll see those details here under action. And this is reflected as a send cookie sent. So this means that our internet computer, we know that it started a three-way handshake by sending a TCP send packet for one of the ports that it did the port scan to. So the firewall received it and in return sent a send ACK packet, which is reflected as send cookie sent, and so on. So again, this is another method for how you can test against your zone protection profile. Now, once you're done, it's important to update your alert and activate settings back to what you set to before. And that will conclude this video for learning how to enable one form of DOS protection on your PAN appliance.